Hello, I'm FPX, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm in an abandoned mineshaft, but it's not just any abandoned mineshaft. I mean, it might be, but it's definitely not, because today we're in an abandoned mineshaft which goes on infinitely. Minecraft Bedrock has had a bug ever since the Better Together update, at least again, as far as we understand, that basically causes mineshafts to generate in weird repeating patterns. And a lot of worlds, myself included, have mineshafts which go on for either infinite amount of blocks or for nearly that amount. So today, to kind of show this off in the most fun way possible, we're going to be walking these blocks in survival, and also I feel like, because they fixed this now, because they know what's going on, I feel like we're going to try and get as many of the, free loot things. So if we find diamonds, we'll mine them. If we, find any chests, we'll take the loot. And we're going to be taking full advantage of this mineshaft. So let's show you the direction we're going. Let's show that this is a big mineshaft, because the cool thing about this isn't just a single mineshaft like a lot of people think. It's actually a recurring series of mineshafts, which means that you find, again, lots of stuff like, oh look, free torches, or a protection 1 book, which we're totally not taking, but I mean, it's a nice thing regardless. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're walking through a giant mineshaft and also answering questions like, hey to Cat, we can all tell this will be an interesting live stream. Also, I love your videos. Thank you very much, man. I'm glad you like the videos, and this is going to be the highest of quality, most interesting, live streams. Oh, we hit. Again, you can hit dead ends because they don't generate perfectly next to each other. At least my ones don't. Again, it depends on your seed. But yeah, it's still super, super interesting. We'll just go down a bit and then see where this takes us. Oh, we're above a ravine. That's probably why there's so many blocks missing. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace these blocks with, I guess, some stone, because we'll be mining a bunch of that. And we'll just make little stone pathways to find things like this chest right here, which also has some more torches, and so on and so forth. So, big thank you to Tom Bryan, who says, hey Toycat, how are you today? I'm doing pretty good today, actually. I think yesterday I had my first real down moment in quite some time. And that, not to say it's the first time I ever felt sad in a while. I was just I don't want to do anything right now. You think about everything and it's all well, there's no point in anything. Guess I might as well die. I mean, not literally that, but you know the thought where you're well, I guess nothing has any value. But after that, oh yeah, everything's all good again. And it's the constant reminder of the thing I say a lot, but you don't really have ups without downs. You don't really have downs without ups. Everything is relative, and that's a good thing, or maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I guess it depends on your perception of good and bad. But yeah, in case you're curious, this mineshaft goes on for a very long time. We're going to go up and down, but mostly we're going to be finding where all of the chests are. Oh, the other reason I'm doing this, besides to get you to obviously vote for the cave update, which you can do in the link down below. We got an easy link set up, bit.ly/cave update. Boom, you can now very easily get yourself vote for the cave update. But also the reason I did this is because I asked if hey, do you want to see this? And I thought no one would say yes, but apparently people do want to see this whole thing right here. Also, should we maybe pick up the rails as well? There's just so much good loot you can find in these places that it's hard to turn down some of it, but we're gonna do our best to try regardless. Also, I've never seen this before, but it's sugarcane inside a mineshaft, so that one's fun. Oh, we should have kept track of where we started. So we'll just say we're going to about 10,000 Z and about minus 6,000 X. That's roughly 10,000 blocks, right? I would say so. We'll see how long it takes us. Probably quite some time unless we get really cracking on it. It's okay not to be okay. I hope things pick up soon. Like I said, it was just it wasn't even it was just I guess what would you describe it as is the depression, the emotion, not depression, the state of mind. And I'm never ever, again, this isn't Toycat's therapy session, but thank you for allowing me to have it anyway. But it was just oh yeah, a reminder that there's no escape from things being, there's no escape from bad feelings or things feeling bad at any given point in time. But that's okay. I know. At least to me, it's a reminder of that. because sometimes there's this worrying dynamic of well, everything's permanent. So I know. I guess the making really quick charge, making really dangerous decisions based on temporary information, I guess, is the simplest way to describe that. And it's I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with this one. So let's move on to the next thing. So, Kat, did you notice your head is flat? I did not notice my head is flat. Do you mean because the top bit's being cut off? Also, let me just move this up a bit. Oh, you can see my Elgato box. Let's move that a little bit that way. A little bit more. It's going to fall over if I push it anymore. Oh. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, it didn't fall over. It might fall during the stream, and I might break something. Oh, I bought a green screen because I painted this office blue deliberately to use as a green screen, and then what ended up happening, I mean, like, you can see what ended up happening, right? Also, flat face. What makes my face flat? Is it like having the 2D thing at the top? Like, yeah, now you're Mr. Game & Watch from Super Smash Bros. Or something. I mean, oh, he's a character otherwise, but I mean, he's also not, right? Also, yeah, this, I hope this has proved we're infinite already. Because there's going to be some people who watch this without having watched any of the, like, Infinite Mineshaft saga. And this is going to be a very confusing thing to see. But yeah, long story short, we can go very, very, very far. And there's going to be some challenges every now and then, like, oh, another ravine we've got to cross. But that's mostly fine. Also, I guess we should mine iron ore we come across, because I really am in need of a bunch of iron for some project coming up. Oh, I've worked out a cool thing you can do in 1.14 that requires... Oh, we've already maxed out our inventory, it seems. I've worked out a cool thing you can do in 1.14. It just requires a lot of iron. So that's a thing we'll probably play around with. Also, let's just throw all of this in there. And, oh god, there's so much stuff just, like, accumulates in my inventory, which is why I'm glad I brought one of the... No! Boxes! That was worthwhile. Hey, Togat, what's the better enchantment? Fire aspect or knockback? You know, this is a good would you rather question. Bringing it back to Minecraft. Oh god, okay, he's gonna knock me into the ravine if I'm not careful. I'm a big believer in fire aspect. I really don't like knockback for any mob. Oh god, I'm trapped in like I'm flying, which is really bad too, because you don't want to be flying unnecessarily. And because I'm flying, I can't break the cobweb. Like this is absurd. How is this happening? How like when is this? Okay, there we go. That was silly. So yeah, pro tip: watch out for cobwebs. Why didn't you read my super chat? So yeah, again, we always get around to them. It's just sometimes they get a little bit lost. But hey, big thank you, J. Davis Bro, for becoming a sponsor. Much appreciated. So yeah, I'm gonna have I'm like way wrecked today. So Kat, great stream. What's your favorite update? Says Minor Fun. My favorite update so far on Bedrock. I think the update Aquatic Phase 1 was pretty good. I think 1.9 was underrated. 1.10 was pretty good, right? I think we can all agree. Like, shields are interesting. I haven't actually used shields in survival yet. I was doing something earlier where I desperately needed shields. I won't spoil it. I guess it's not spoilers, but I mean, I was playing around with shulkers, and shulkers are the one mob where you need shields. No matter how much armor you have, you want shields just to make your life less painful. So yeah, there you go. I like 1.10 a lot. Although maybe that's a bad answer because we're already playing it. So I'll just say like, I don't know, 0.14.0. That was probably a good update. I don't know what was in that update, but it was probably a good one. I probably made a 14... Oh god, oh god! Jesus Christ. I've never had such a heart attack before. I heard like a sliding noise right next to my head, and it was the thing falling. This is what I do, just so I don't go 2D for you. You almost gave me a heart attack, chat. Like I am full on dead right now. Oh man. I don't know if that even showed up on the mic, but it's whatever. It slid, and I thought it was gonna slide into me. Anyway, quality content. These are the high quality live streams you signed up for on the Toycat channel. You get to watch me literally just walking through a mineshaft, which is pretty much identical because it's just new mineshafts after new mineshafts. And, you know, you're choosing to watch it. Not only are you choosing to watch it, but a lot of people are choosing to super chat as well. So, I mean, really, I'm just saying, oh god, oh man, the spider pushed the chest into me. How nice of the spider to consider my needs like that. But, yeah, to circle back round to my thing that I was saying, which I entirely forgot about. Yeah, high quality live streams. Nothing but caving non-stop. We might even get more than 10,000 blocks done because we've already done like about 1,000 of them in how long's this been? About 8 minutes. We're doing pretty good progress, I would say, and it's only gonna get better as we learn the mineshafts more. I'm just really hoping that we find something super goofy and quirky in here. Oh, I didn't know this was a thing that existed. It's a cave spider jockey. Is this a Bedrock exclusive? This is the most terrifying, ridiculous mob that exists. Chat, is this a Bedrock? I swear to God, this doesn't exist on console. Or it's not meant to, at least. Is this meant to even exist on Bedrock? Okay, well that's... Or is it just one of those, like, weird mob jockey style things? Jesus, that was weird. So yeah, watch out, because if you go for an infinite mineshaft, it's a 1 in 100 chance, I would assume, like a regular spider jockey. Those things can probably wreck you a lot harder if you aren't lucky enough to have some protection 4 armor, or protection 3. Why is the cave spider not poisoning you? Poison's based on difficulty. You might... I always used to assume it was always 2, but it only poisons you... The poison can kill you on hard, I want to say, and it poisons you on normal, but on easy it just damages you a tiny bit, so... They're not really even that scary. We're on easy deliberately because of the fact that there's cave spiders. Like, I don't want to be poisoned today. I don't want to bring 16,000 buckets of milk. So, you know, I just didn't. You can play whatever difficulty you like, as long as it's not peaceful. Big thank you, Nerdpunk, for the $1.99 super chat. Nerdpunk sounds like a weird insult, but I'm glad you're happy calling yourself that, Mr. Nerdpunk. Europe is gay. Give us a 99-cent super chat. I'm glad you like my continent so little or much. I mean, like, gay's a good thing in 2019. I mean, like, it's always been a good thing because, like, even when it wasn't a good thing, it meant gay still means happy in the English language. It's just no one uses it that way, and therefore it doesn't mean that. What's your favorite feature of 1.14? Honestly, my favorite feature is probably new villages. They're not quite as fleshed out as they would be in the dreams, but they're still, like, they're good. They're interesting. Lots of things that you would want from villages. So, yeah, favorite 1.14 feature, new villages / villagers. I can't wait to see some of the weirdest permutations that we get from them with the full update. Like, believe me, there's going to be some bizarre Seed Sunday stuff happening not too far off in the future. So, Kat, do you play on creative mode or only survival? If I have a survival world, I only play that world in survival. A lot of people do this thing where they switch back and forth between creative and survival. And to me, that defeats the point of survival, right? Like, survival is fun because you have limited resources. If you add infinite resources to survival, you've got a bad version of creative. Like, like some people do it because they want to pretend or whatever. Like, you know, again, it's fine. No judgment here, except all the judgment that is, oh, okay, they're friends. Glad the Bedrock AI is slightly delayed because now I don't have to deal with them. But yeah, this mineshaft's interesting because it has so many points where it goes up and down. Again, where different mineshafts are connecting in... Oh, okay, can't get that iron ore. It's where different mineshafts are connecting in slightly weird ways, but that's a whole thing. I want your cake back. Okay, that's some random message. So, Kat, what happens when the infinite mineshaft meets the farlands? The infinite mineshaft keeps going, actually. I think I showed this in the original video, but even when the world starts breaking around it, the mineshaft is still there, trying to generate. It is an insult, Sister Punk. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I mean, like, it's like, things are only compliments or insults based on how you perceive them, right? Like, if you say my nose is big, that's a compliment. Oh! Okay, that's not a cave spider, it's like a witch or something. Which isn't based on difficulty, unlike cave spiders. But, if you say I have a big nose, that's probably meant as an insult. But if I'm known for smelling, and you're complimenting my smelling, like, wow, you have such a big nose, as in, like, it's so, you know, my nose is big at smelling, then that's a compliment, you know? And that might sound like a ridiculous edge case, and let's be honest, it entirely is. Also, I'm gonna hide in a corner, because, well, you're poisoned, you wanna watch out, I would say. How does an infinite mineshaft generate, says WolfAX. It's a bug to do with the way they set up the code when they ported over mineshafts, from, I think it was from console to Bedrock, and I guess no one spotted it for a really long time, and then it wasn't really a priority. So yeah, it basically just means that the so when you type in a seed, the way it generates a village or anything else like that is it does some mathematical computations on the seed. And the way this particular... Oh, this is a cave, not a mineshaft. This isn't 10,000 blocks of cave. This is 10,000 blocks of mineshaft. But, yeah, the way Minecraft does calculations had some issues, and that's how things got broken. Now you know. So, yeah. Also, Villager's nose is very big, and that's not an insult. See, right, yeah. There's also things that are facts, right? Like, I mean, there's definitely no fact around Europe being gay, but, I mean, there is a fact, like... you can say something that sounds insulting, but is also the truth. Like, hey, you have gained some weight. I mean, like, that is true for some people sometimes. It's rude, but it's not an insult, is it? It's just being impolite. If you say you're fat, that's an insult, I would say. Or I mean, maybe that's an observation, but like, if you just reference an objective truth, you can be a jerk for doing it. But thank you, by the way, Spencer, for interacting with my rant, which was not really going anywhere anyway. So big thank you for becoming a member on the channel. By the way, it's easier than ever now. Like, YouTube finally rolled out the join button everywhere, and I think that's cool. Like, I don't really push it beyond the little card I put in videos sometimes, but it's cool that so many of you want to become members and support the channel. And the cool thing about it is it's not just like, oh yeah, feel good about supporting the channel, which I like personally, but also you get access to those emojis like the dab cat. Everyone loves the toy cat dabbing because dabbing is just so cool, right? That's what everyone tells me. Been watching a lot of your streams. Hey, thank you, man, Spencer. No sponsor button on iOS. So all you have to do is use your web browser on iOS. You can't use the YouTube app. It's this really weird disagreement that YouTube and Apple have had. And it's funny, they've had one since the beginning. I don't know if you know this, but they... Wow. Good use of text-to-speech. Thank you very much for the $19.99 super chat. That's crazy. But thank you very much for it. I am glad to... again, that's orange. That's not just yellow. That's going to the level of text-to-speech. And using it, I guess, isn't the definition of flexing like unnecessary, not shows of wealth, but like showing off a thing you've done? That's like the ultimate flex, right? Can afford text-to-speech. Use it for for 4 letters of a word. Speaking of 4 letters in a word, thank you, Kelly Drummond, for becoming a sponsor. But I want to stay on track. Or do I want to stay on track? Oh wait. There's a good there's a mineshaft pun here. Okay, if I can get back to a mineshaft. I want to stay on track. There we go. That was good. You like that? You'll feel like that was a good part of your money. By the way, big thank you, How Is Life, for the £1 super chat. Love your streams, mate. Hey, thank you, man. I'm glad you love my streams. I'd say I love your streams. Again, I don't know why my brain is just like automatically tuned to be like, oh yeah, reverse, reciprocal compliment. Also, Toycat, did you announce at 1.54 of your Bedrock beta that turning on experimental gameplay resets your spawn radius? I did not actually notice that. That was a thank you for the little observation. That's a weird bug. I hope that someone reports it on the thing, the bug page. So that would be handy if any of you are feeling like reporting bugs, because there is some benefit to reporting bugs on the Mojang bug tracker. Like, I think you get there's some form of points or something like that. Like, so if you want those imaginary points, because let's be honest, imaginary points are what I live for. Maybe they're what you live for too. And now you got a bug to report. You're welcome, maybe, and/or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which of those apply. He protect, he attack, but most importantly, he back on track. That is a nice one, Lapis Carrot. Big fan of that message right there. Also, for some reason, the mineshaft's at a dead end, but it goes through a cave here. I don't know why I did that. Should not have let the thing do that to me. Let's put in a headphone because I can't hear anything, and let's keep listening to this. Toycat, have you found a notch apple in a chest before? I find them all the time in desert temple chests. I don't know if they can spawn in mineshaft chests. It'd be a really cool find if I did get one, right? Like, I don't think I have a use for it, but it would be cool. It's kind of like a record player, or like there's a lot of like old technology where I can admit it's cool, but I don't really want to use it. And I feel like in the same place as it. Also, I was wondering why I couldn't get through here. I was like, am I doing something wrong? Turns out you just got to swim in just the right way, and boom, there we go. But Toycat, did you post the Mesa Seed from the No Damage Challenge? So a lot of the seeds from those challenges, especially the really good ones, I do post on Seed Sunday. You gotta search it though. It's you'll find it. Just like search through the Seed Sundays, and you'll get there. It's so wonderful. If they make a cave update, would they have to increase the depth to double or triple the amount that it is? So that's something. Okay, let's talk this, right. Let's talk it real quick. I think even with the current depth, there's a lot of wasted space between about Y40 and like Y60. There's nothing there, and then between about Y20 and Y0, there's very little. There's plenty of space without having to increase it. Also, I think we found a mob spawner but one that's been like entirely, yeah. The mineshaft just goes right through the spawner, and that's kind of amusing to me. Big thank you. We got another Europe is gay comment right there. So he is doubling down on his stance that Europe is gay. What does that mean? I don't know. Is he directly insulting me? Am I included in Europe or am I not for the purpose of that? I don't know. No one knows. All we know is that he's the mysterious benefactor today. Anyway, hey, how are you today, says Emily McCormick. I'm doing pretty good today. Okay, wait, let me talk about, again, minor complaints of Toycat. Can we do this? This is basically a series on the channel, right? Like, things Toycat talks about. Minor complaints he has to do with things that probably don't matter too much anyway. But in that spirit, oh, we got a message to read here. Everyone loves imaginary points. That's why people call on Reddit. In the year 3000, Reddit comes new currency. I mean, it's true on every social media though. Like before, if a lot of people don't know, but before YouTube had any money made, a lot of people still wanted to get high viewed videos, not because views meant any money or even necessarily that some people wanted their stuff be shared, because you know, garbage content people still enjoyed getting views, but because it's cool having those imaginary, like. Knowing that a number's gotten higher. Like, there's something built into humans. Like, we like results. There's a reason, you know, that, like, everything is... I know, there's a reason so many things work. There's a reason currency is math-based and number-based. And, like, you can clearly look at, you know, like... You can very clearly compare, like, two amounts of currency and tell which one's higher. Like, what's higher, $1,000 or $963? And, like, you know, stuff like that. In anything, in any aspect, some part of the human brain, not every human brain, not every person, not every single imaginary point system. It's also why leveling systems in games work. Like seeing the experience go up, seeing that level go up with a nice sound effect, positive reinforcement. Like it's quite easy to manipulate a human brain. I sound like a robot as I say that. Like humans, very easy manipulatable. But I mean, I'm including myself in that. Like, I'm trying to think of a fun example of like, oh yeah, so whenever I get like a cup with the wrong name at Starbucks, I take a picture and it's like, well now I've just you know, everyone's manipulatable. Yeah, you get the point. Ian Peterson Schnell says at work had to donate. Keep up the great content. Says thank you very much, man. This is the highest quality content we've ever gone to on the channel. Can you imagine something going higher? You can't because this is peak internet content. Oh, speaking of peak internet content, I think I've found a dead end. So we do have to do a little bit of mining ourselves. But I'm willing to bet that it only takes like a few blocks, and then we'll magically end up in another mine shaft. Because maybe the next one's higher up or lower down for a bit. But I'd be willing to bet my something that this will work just fine. Also, big thank you, Anti-Mouse 2000. Is that 2000? 2 questions. 1, do you think we'd get PC mods ported onto Bedrock through add-on scripting in the near future? Number 2, will you ever visit Austria? So, I love Austria. I love kangaroos, and Sydney's my favorite city in the world. Sorry, I have to do that to everyone from Australia and Austria. But, your actual question. So, I don't think job mods will ever be portable to Bedrock, but I think one day there'll be just as big a Bedrock job mod community, you know, of mods with serious longevity, as there is on Java. And hopefully... Unlike Java, where you don't get, like, you either get to play mods, or you get, like, content updates from the developers. Because, you know, no mods get updated to the current versions, really. It'd be cool to see it on Bedrock where those two things, you could have both at the same time. So, yeah, that's what I think will happen. I don't think fully ported mods will happen. But I think good things will come regardless. So, no. But yeah, so to go back to my actual, oh, the second part of the question was, will you ever visit Austria? I've actually been to Austria a fair few times. I went to Austria... Actually, wait, it might only be once I've been to Austria. No, twice. I've been to Vienna once to actually be there, and once... For I think it was 35 minutes between flights. Like, literally, I got off one flight, and then I walked to the next. It was delayed 20 minutes. So I was there a whole 55 minutes in Austria the second time. It was a thrilling experience. Let me tell you about it. So, the airport in Austria is really nice, and that's actually about it. Actually, wait, weird thing here. But Austria's Vienna airport, I should say, it looks exactly like Denver in my head. Like, I don't know why this is. Like, I've never had this before in any two other places, but I can't distinguish memories between Denver, Colorado, like the airport there, and Vienna, Austria. Why is that the case? I don't know. I don't even think they look alike. Like, I'd be willing to bet there's just like... again, I sometimes spot this in my own brain, like, programming, like, errors. Like, oh, that memory's not correct. And remind, oh god, there's a creeper in this with me. No, no, no! Okay, well, you know, I just want to get out of here. If that's okay with you. Maybe if we made some water? Oh, that did work. Somehow, that worked. Okay, we're out of it. Let's keep going. We've got places to be, people to see, and apparently mine shafts to explore. So, who wants them to find diamonds? Diamonds are usually found quite low. Otherwise, it's like... finding them in chests is actually surprisingly rare. It might even be impossible now. Like, I always get slightly confused between the different loot tables for different chests. But I think you can find diamonds in mineshaft chests. They're just pretty rare. But again, with enough mineshaft chests, you better believe we'll be finding some of those. So let's go do this. But yeah, so as a person who lives in Colorado, the Denver airport is similar to Austria's. You're not... I don't even know if that's a true thing, but I'll take it. I'll be like, yeah, my memory sure is right. Confirmation bias right at work here. You know, I was going to discount confirmation bias, and then I decided, because I thought it already, that it was a good idea. Ha 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 ha. Fun jokes with Toy Cat. Only the best jokes here. So, yeah, I've been to Austria. Again, I had a good time there, but I still, to this day, I went into a theme park. Well, not a theme park, like a park, an amusement park, maybe? I don't know, like a place where there are rides, but like old-timey rides, not like, you know, Disneyland rides. Oh, God, we almost landed in lava. Good thing I've got water in my hot tub. Wait, let's leave this behind. Let's keep going. But it just wasn't open. I think I might even have a vlog of this on the second channel. And I just couldn't work out, like, but why are you not open? Oh, no, it was a restaurant I really wanted to go to. I got there, like, as it opened. Like, it opened at 6. I got there at 6:10. No one was there. There was no reason. It wasn't a holiday. Nothing like that. No sign out front. There were people going in and out, but the door was locked. I knocked on the door. They didn't... It was just like, is that just how things are in Austria? Like, oh yeah, letting people into our place is optional. Was it like they didn't like the way I looked? They're like, oh no British people. I still don't know. But yeah, that's a boring story. No one likes travel stories, so I try not to do them too much. And now you know about my... Oh, looks like you can find diamonds in mine shafts. So we've proven at least 2 things today. That's the exciting thing here. So yeah, actually, while we're on the subject of human brains, because I could talk about brains all day. Am I right? I'm like a bad neurosurgeon. Actually, I guess good neurosurgeons would talk about brains all day. Or maybe they wouldn't. You're not evil. Not the point. I want to talk a little bit about brains because someone asked in the comment section of my most recent Let's Play. It's like, oh yeah, have you seen, you know, X or Y Kursk's up video? Also, this is strange to see. Oh no, please come back. But yeah, I actually had one of the ones that like kind of comes related to the idea of in my opinion at least, it's related to kind of the like, oh yeah, so how will we do about space? Is exactly what consciousness is. Because consciousness is kind of a nebulous idea, right? Like it's something we kind of came up with it because we need some way to describe the fact that internally your brain thinks things that it then expresses to the outside world. Like, it almost to me seems like a way to describe what makes humans unique. Like, in my head, I still think if giraffes were the dominant species on Earth, they were as advanced as humans are, they'd be thinking to each other all the time, like, man, those humans sure are they sure do suck unlike us. They don't have long necks. Like, if giraffes were the #1 animal, they'd be like, yeah, we're the best. They would think they are the best. It's just a fact, right? So, like, thinking humans are so great because we have consciousness. It's always, I'm always cautious of thinking, like, is that true or am I just imagining it? But the thing we kind of ascribe our greatness to is consciousness, right? Like, we can think things and we can come up with ideas and solve problems. Like, the creation of tools, like, even though a human can't beat a tiger in a bare fist fight, a human can beat a tiger if he has a gun, and you better believe humans have guns. Or even just a sword, right? Actually, wait, who would win? Like, a human with a katana, or like a tiger that hadn't eaten in 3 days? Like, I feel like that's like a tough fight, right? That needs to be like some form off TV show. We need to find that one out, like, for science. But, yeah, we tend to think, like, oh yeah, humans are the best because of the thing that only humans have. And the way you generally can describe that is consciousness. We have thoughts inside of our heads that we can express to others. Tiger would win, Imo. You really think the Tiger would win that? You know, I'm gonna take a side tangent here. Because I'm genuinely thinking, like, human with a sword, just do that, like... And, you know, it's kind of like, in real life, if someone has a knife, and, you know, even if you give me a knife and you, like, put me against the best karate or, like, MMA person in the world, I'm probably still gonna hurt them. I won't kill them. Like, they'll kill me, and I'll probably die. But, like, and that's like, even with a short knife, you could do that. The example they use a lot is, if you give someone a marker pen and you give someone else a white t-shirt, then you'll always be able to get marked on the t-shirt, no matter how much, no matter how little. It's always gonna happen, right? Wouldn't the tiger be dead by then, right? Yeah, no, I'm thinking, like... I'm thinking... So, okay, this is what gladiator battles are for. You know, that's a good point. The Romans were ahead of their time, and that they were doing science long before Toycat could even suggest it on the internet. Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking it has to be the human, because if you give a human a sword, like a nice long sword, then the tiger has to be real fast, faster than the human can swing a sword. And if the human knows it's a tiger, like, knows the speed of one, I guess it would depend on the person and depend... Actually, you know, this is a thing. We'll do a Twitter poll, you're right. Let's work it out. Let's get a conclusion that everyone could be happy with. It depends on how thick the sword blade is. If it's flimsy, it would just break against the tiger. Oh yeah, right, that's what I'm talking, like katana, like super thin sword, like one that could, like, slice a tiger in half. Again, not that I want to slice a tiger in half, but I would do so to save myself. Because again, humans, we have this, like, maybe rightly so, I mean, it at least unites people, but, like, we think we're better than animals, and again, there's some reasons for that, pretty good reasons. But, yeah, basically, the reason I came up with all of that, the reason that came out, is that we kind of just, like, work backwards from, like, we're the best, and that's because we think things. And then I never even started to wonder, like, so why is it that only humans think things in their heads? And there's actually a really good video. I'll recommend it right now if you're into your YouTube videos, which I assume you might be. It's a Kurzgesagt video on, or in a nutshell, if you don't know how to type German words, because no one knows how to type German words. They've got a video on, like, how consciousness developed, and it's like, oh yeah, well, to avoid predators, you need to know where the predator is, even when you can't see it. You gotta be able to imagine where it is, and then that can, like, evolve into telling other people of your same species where the predator is, and, like, saying things to, you know, like, potential mates about how you know where the predator is and you're so smart. Oh, you can totally find enchanted apples, by the way. Fun fact. We've now found ourselves an enchanted apple farm. That's useful to know. So yeah, we found diamonds and we found an enchanted apple. This is a good stream. I'm having a good time. Oh god, a creeper. Yep. I said I was having a good time. That's what made him happen. Let's just go. Okay, we did it. So, but yeah, so it's one of those things, though, that as soon as, okay, so, like, after watching it, I was like, okay, so it kind of makes sense that, like, yeah, consciousness probably did come from somewhere. It doesn't just, again, if you believe in the whole things developing theory, if you believe the universe was invented last Wednesday, then you don't have to worry about all of this. But assuming that that's not the case, then it's an interesting theory of, like, so where does it all come from, and how do we prove who has it? Because this is the eternal problem I have. Like, you might think I'm crazy for this, but to this day, I still don't believe everyone else is real. I have no way to prove any of you watching this right now are real. I assume you're real because it's the easiest way to exist in this world. You have to be a pragmatist, right? You can't kill people because they're not real. That'd be absurd. That's silly. You know, I don't kill people unless, well, I mean, I haven't killed a person, and I don't think I will kill a person. Like, on average, like, the average number of, like, murders per person has to be, like, 0.0, oh, God. 0.0, oh, man. God, that's scary. See, I almost just got gravelled to death. That is the worst fate. But yeah, there's no way to prove that everyone else isn't, not a robot. Robot's obviously absurd. But a a person that doesn't have the same consciousness as you. Like, in your head, you can store ideas and thoughts, but you can only communicate them to the outside world through words. You don't know if everyone else has those same thoughts they communicate, or if they just say the words. And I actually think it might even be more complex than that. What if there are some people, what if it's like, because if you don't know, I don't know what exactly determines it, but some people can't picture things in their heads. If you ask them to picture a purple banana, I think is the example. Wait, right now, chat. Try and picture a banana in your head. Okay, do an exercise with me. Let's have some fun. Science of Toy Cat. Can you picture a banana in your head? You should be able to. If you can picture a nice bowl of bananas, right? And then if you can change the color to purple, that's meant to signify like how your brain is based. Like, is it information based or picture based? Most people can change the color of the bananas quite easily. If you can't, it tells you something. Google purple bananas. I don't know much about this experiment. I just know that it's an interesting one to get people thinking, because in my head it feels like you should be able to create a purple banana, but it's actually like tricky for me. Like, changing the color of the banana is surprisingly hard, which doesn't. I don't know why that is. It's maybe it tells me something about myself. Again, it's one of those things that I love the principle that it proves, though, that my point is that it proves our brains do work differently. We're not all picturing things in exactly the same way, because some people can picture these amazing works of art. Like, there's a guy out there somewhere who went to the Notre Dame Cathedral in like 2003 and has just memorized it then, and could probably rebuild the cathedral today. There's a guy out there somewhere, probably multiple guys. People have photographic memory, right? Oak or acacia? Which will it be? I'm an oak man. I'm a big believer in oak. I love acacia. It's always my go-to quirky wood, but oak is just a good default. No one can argue with that. If you argue with oak being a good default, then get blocked, man. An eggplant is actually a purple banana. BG Fred 16, BG Fred. Since I am British, I am obliged to inform you the eggplant is not actually what we call it in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Instead, the eggplant is called an aubergine here, and I did not put the two things together until I was in my teenage years. Because I think it's in Courage the Cowardly Dog, an eggplant comes up, and I was like, oh, that's an eggplant. And my grandmother's from Sri Lanka. She makes a lot of interesting Sri Lankan food. And one of the dishes is just called aubergine, and I was like, oh, that's a weird, is that like Billie Jean, but aubergine? Because aubergine is not my lover. She's just a fruit. I guess it's a vegetable. The best that I ever had. Anyway, it actually, side note, aubergine's a really good vegetable. It's just really hard to make good. It's like, it's the most challenging vegetable if you want to have fun cooking and have a bad time most of the time. Then aubergine's the one for you. Pro tips of Toy Cat. Didn't you already have a green screen, says JJ? I have a blue screen, and by blue screen I mean I have a blue wall behind me. But it's caused me so many issues that, like, I figured it was worth an investment to just get a green screen. Billie Jean is an eggplant. Okay, let's do it. Because aubergine is not my veggie. It's just a food. The best that I ever had. Because I don't know enough of the lyrics to that song. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like, you're not allowed to like, I mean, you really shouldn't listen to Michael Jackson anymore, right? I mean, that's my understanding from internet rumors without, oh god, we need to kill the skeleton. Without too much basis. So, therefore, I can't learn the lyrics. Basically, I'm saving the planet by not listening to Billie Jean and understanding the lyrics. It is a very catchy beat, though. Like, again, everyone knows the beat to all the... Like, again, I don't listen to music, and I somehow know the beat to all the major Michael Jackson songs, right? So, I don't know what that tells you. Maybe it tells you something. Maybe it tells you nothing. Maybe it tells you everything. I'm not the one... So I need to get... Oh god, 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 oh man, skeleton, there is a bigger issue for both of us. This is proof that... oh, let's get out there. So, my grandparents make eggplant lasagna. That actually sounds pretty good. Oh. There's some gravel above my head. Well, I guess I'm not going that way. That's just too much for me. So instead we'll kind of go this way and see if this leads me anywhere. Yeah, it looks like there's a definite pattern to this mineshaft that I think we can work out. You don't listen to music? Are you insanely? See, exactly, right? That goes back to my thing. Everyone has different... So we know people are different, right? No one is out there thinking all humans are the same. Your environment makes a difference on who you are and how you are. But also, there's some nature versus nurture. But like, there's some genetic component that makes you different, and also just some, something about you is different to everyone else. Like every human is unique in some way. That's pretty universally agreed. Yes. But yet some people's brains respond really well to music, which is really just words sung in a slightly interesting time. Like, there's nothing inherently good about music, but everyone loves it a little bit. I like video game music. I've been playing Guitar Hero again. It's a thing. Everyone likes music a little bit. Also, there's a T in this chest. How nice. But yeah, the fact that we don't know what's in everyone else's brains, my like conspiracy theory of Toy Cat time is that some people genuinely don't have thoughts. I don't think that everyone doesn't have thoughts anymore. Like, I've gone past that phase. But I do think that there are definitely some people out there who just don't have thoughts. Their brain is literally, just playing music all the time. I'm not saying like this is smart people or stupid people or this or that. I think that there are so many conversations I've had where the other person is clearly not putting any cognitive effort in. And you can either, the conversations where it's like, hi, so how are you? Oh, I'm good. And, some of those people are just boring people, right? But maybe what makes you one of those boring people who doesn't know how to have a conversation, because, I'm sure some of it is like, well, if you never need to have an interesting conversation, you never learn the skills. But I also think that maybe some people just don't have those things wired into them. Their brain isn't doing additional thinking. Like, when you ask their brain for input, it has an output, right? If you ask them what's 6 plus 6, 12. If you ask them how they're doing today, pretty good. Thank you for asking. But that's my theory is that some number of people don't have, like, things going on. Like, again, this sounds like I'm trying to be rude, right? Egg lasagna is moussaka with pasta. Oh, moussaka does have eggplant in it, doesn't it? I don't know what moussaka is. Like, it's just one of those dishes that, like, I sometimes eat in prepackaged form, like a savage. Also, big thank you for the, thank you to the super chat, Kelly Drummond. And also, thank you, Dead Peng 1. I hear you're Dead Peng. Is Peng still a word? Again, I'm always like, when you haven't heard a word for quite some time, because there's so much slang which is regional or, like, related to X, Y, Z. So when you hear, when you hear, like, slang for the first time, like, 5 years, you're like, is that still alive or is your name just that old? Also, you just go to eggplant, traitor, treason, betrayal. Rip me. I did this to myself. But I will say aubergine is a bit more of a cumbersome name. Like, I've said this before, but I don't care about US versus UK pronunciations. I say the one which is easier and more natural. And at least eggplant, like, oh yeah. You're calling it something real basic, sure, fine, whatever. 10,000 blocks of mineshaft, how's that possible? Is there a seed of a mineshaft this long? Most seeds actually have a mineshaft this long somewhere, or a lot of seeds. Whether it's most or a lot, you can refute, but there's a good chance if you pick a random seed, you'll find a mineshaft that is this long. Also, we've got about 4,000 blocks now, I want to say. And how long has it taken us to do so? Only about 38 minutes. This will be a fun live stream. I am strapped in for the long haul. Also, we're getting so much iron ore, so that's good. Like, because I forgot to mention, there's a thing that is only possible as of 1.11. I think it's really stupid, but I think a lot of people will like it. And I need a lot of iron to make it, because it involves hoppers. That's all I'll say. Wait, maybe, actually, this is a live stream, I can trust you. Keep my secrets. But, I think there's going to be a fully automatic vegan XP farm. And again, I feel like just calling it that alone, like, it doesn't even matter what you think about XP or vegans or anything else like that, but it seems like it's gonna go well. Also, okay, wait. Can we go back to the tiger versus the human, right? What if you upgrade the tiger to having a katana and the human to having a gun? Like, that proves the thing about tools, right? That, oh yeah, like, here's the crazy thing. If you give the tiger a gun and the person a katana, that does not change the odds at all. Isn't that wild how, like, you could give the tiger literally a RPG and his odds against the human are still the same. And I think that does prove that, like, contrary to what I was saying before, like, I don't think the tools are worthless, you know, in the human other games they copy me. I think it's actually very valuable. But I think it's interesting. Also, look how many Mineshafts are combined here. Like, you can see what a mess this whole place is. But give the tiger a mech. I would love to. One of the things that makes me sad is that there's so much that humanity will do that you'll never be alive for. So apologies everyone for reminding you that you will die, but you will eventually, probably sooner than you expect. But yeah, basically, there's so many cool things we're gonna discover, but I won't get to discover, you know. And one of those things I can't wait for is what the heck is inside an animal's brain. Like, when you know how dogs can learn to respond to your voice and cats can learn to ignore your voice? It's a true fact. You ask Cookie and she will very much ignore you because that's what I just said cats do. But also, look how many cave spider spawners there are together here. Oh man, I am in a bad situation here. But yeah, like there's so many like clever things that animals learn to do. That like there's some learning capacity in there, right? Like I would love to like, if you could teach an animal, so there's a famous, I think it's a proverb by someone, but like if you could teach a lion to speak, it wouldn't be able to, like, even if you could teach a lion English and how to speak English, you wouldn't be able to actually talk because your frame of references is so different. That's a famous quote from someone somewhere. Again, apologies for my lack of sourcing that one, but it's a famous thought experiment that like, even if you had a lion, even a lion with a gun that could speak English, then what value would your conversation with that lion have? Because, you know, his frame of reference is so different. Like the basic goals that drive you, you know, they vary massively between human and lion. Like that lion wants his next meal. He doesn't care about this gun. He doesn't care about his 401k, which I mean, that's why so many lions die early. I mean, they really should be investing in some life insurance, I reckon. But no, like the goals that drive. Oh, here's another Americanism. 401k as like retirement fund. There's no such fund in the UK, but like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, put some money in that 401k. It's like that. You don't. There's no such thing. It's like, yeah, but it's got a nice ring to it, right? Like, oh yeah, 401k is a lot of something. I for one would like to have 401k in my 401k. Maybe that's why it's called that, actually. I don't even know, because again, it's an Americanism that's in my vocabulary regardless. But yeah, so going back to my thing, this is the deepest Minecraft stream I've ever seen. Yeah, you know, talking about whether you could have a good conversation with a lion is definitely the high quality content you only get on the Toy Cat channel. I'm glad I could, oh, okay, let's try and get through this without burning ourselves alive. Oh, God, that was not what I wanted to do. It worked, though, so. There we go. Sorted, sorted, sorted. Just gotta keep on heading this way. So yeah, we've headed almost 5,000 blocks now, so I feel good about that. The man himself, Go-Go, reached that 10,000 blocks. 10,000 blocks is actually a lot to warp. I had this realization when I did my my Nether like medium blocks too, but like wow, yeah, there's a long way in that. But yeah, so anyway, if you'd have this conversation with a lion, I don't think there'd be much value to it. Because think about the average conversation. You say hi, how are you? What are you up? You know, you ask about their plans and stuff. Like, what part of that would a lion want to or need to respond to? Like, when you talk to a human, you're doing so because we're social animals that like, you know, gossiping, for instance. You might think that Sheila's just being a monster. But gossip is like a tool that has real social value in the jungle when you don't know everyone. Like, oh yeah, knowing that he is a good or bad person, really, really important stuff to know. Like, lions don't gossip, though. You ask a lion, so like, hey, what's the craziest thing you've ever done there, buddy? And he's like... you get the point? Like, that every human conversation, even though we like to think that it's a meeting of the minds, every conversation is like kind of like two people role-playing a conversation. That, again, sounds absurd. But think about it. Like, you're thinking about what they want to hear as well as what you'd like to say. That's what it is. It's not actually, oh yeah, let's throw our minds together on this one. Sometimes you get really deep conversations, and I like those a lot, I will agree. But most conversations aren't that. It's like, again, it's a game of expectations. It's having a little social bond in the most basic of ways. And yeah, the reason that I mentioned that is because you wouldn't get that with Lion. Lions do not have that with each other because they don't want it or need it. It's built into us, right? Maybe that's why conversations are stressful and social anxiety is a thing. I think that a misunderstanding of what a conversation is what is the cause for social anxiety. So, okay, let me talk about it. So, people being socially anxious is on the rise, right? So, I'm gonna share my experience, even though it's maybe not helpful for most of you, just in case it does help some of you, because I don't mind having conversations with people for the most part. I feel like I've gone a lot better at it since I was a teenager. Like, I was feeling at the point where, like, and even to this day, like, I avoid unnecessary conversations if I can. Like, if there's the option. Oh, we found daylight. That's nice. Yeah, let's make a way out of it. Let's just so we know that it's like down into the infinite shaft. Just, I think it'd be a nice thing to do. But yeah, I used to be super like, I used to call myself socially anxious. I think labeling yourself as socially anxious is something that, like, if you tell people, okay, wait, let me, I want to be very careful with the wording here, so I'm not like just insulting a whole group of people. But when you label yourself as socially anxious, you're kind of, oh, what do we got on us? We got some Netherrack, and we got some andesite. We'll place some andesite somewhere. We'll hope that someone spots it and it'll be fine. But like, by labeling yourself as socially anxious, in a social situation, you make that social situation harder. Because now that other person is trying to, you know, care for you, watch out for you. Like, I think it's cool to, it's fine to think to yourself, like, man, conversations are hard. Like, trying to roleplay a conversation and while having a conversation. It's a tricky thing. But, like, also, there's a village over there. Oh, it's a new village. It's a really tricky thing to do, to have this weird kind of thing. But it's made way harder because humans naturally care about each other's issues and problems. Or at least naturally try not to trigger or avert them. Like if you say, hey, whenever someone says the word John Wick to me, I literally have a seizure. You won't say the word John Wick to them. You know? But that conversation gets a tiny bit harder as a result. Because you're thinking like, man, John Wick was such a good movie. Like, I love the way he actually accurately, the number of bullets in his gun was accurate. He reloads. Like, how many action movies did they reload? Man, John Wick's so good. Don't say John Wick. Don't say John Wick. It's like it's a burden you add to someone else in exchange to be a better person yourself. Because when that person's not having a seizure, they're much more fun to talk to. I mean, that's my assumption. I mean, I don't know that person or their thing. But like, that's what you do. When you say, oh yeah, this is my first time, like, I don't know, I've never spoken to a stranger before. That person has to make it count, you know? Or like, whatever else. Also, this is a really cool part of the world. Like, the infinite mineshaft goes through a ravine in such a fascinating way. But yeah, we have to be very careful about this, so you better believe I'm going to do the exact opposite of that. John Wick, John Wick, John Wick. Well, you know, look at them now. Now they've stopped being able to talk to you, and you have to call an ambulance, and you have to feel bad for the next few days. Like, oh, maybe I should have just waited till I got home to talk about John Wick. It's such a great movie. Again, it is. By the way, side note here, I believe John Wick 3 is coming out soon, right? But I am so hyped. Like, you know how I said recently, like, John is such a fake name? John is becoming like a superhero name. Think about it. Jon Snow, superhero. Don't even question that one. He's a superhero. John Wick, superhero. Oh, we found a spawner, but with like nothing else around it. What a weird one. Let's make a little torch trail from this to the open, and then like maybe we can. I'm never gonna use this, but just in case it comes in important, make a nice little tower. Just so it's clear, like, hey, go over here, you'll find a mob spawner. Place a bunch of torches, like, do. There we go. That should be enough to send a message. When I think of John Wick, I don't think of the film, I think of Fortnite. Oh yeah, they did a big type event together, right? There's a short clip of him and a dog. Oh, the John Wick dog clip. Man, that is... See, again, that's motivation for a character. Oh, unless you mean that's for John Wick 3? Didn't he already lose his dog? Isn't that the whole motivation behind John Wick 1? Spoiler alert, by the way. So, oh, but there's another example. Okay, so to go much lighter than mentioning John Wick makes me literally unable to have a conversation. Like, I don't want to have conversations with people who get all... Oh man, I'm wasting so much of my elite durability stuck in cobwebs, and I really don't like that. That's not what I want from the... Come on, game. So the easiest way out of this is just to do this. Oh, and I've lost the water. Where did I lose it? Where did it go, game? What just happened here? Okay, we're out of here. We're good. But like, telling someone like don't spoil things for me, like it's a burden on them, but it's one that you usually accept. And that's why I would say that the one burden where this doesn't make sense is social anxiety, because you're probably gonna, whether you know it or not, you're gonna feel more anxious when you mention it. Whereas if you're just like, oh yeah, I love conversations. I have conversations about sport, the weather, John Wick 3, lions, and who would win in a lion. I talk about everything. I'm so good at conversations. I'm the best. Like, confidence helps a conversation, and what's the opposite of confidence? Like fear? Fear doesn't. Which is why I would say, unlike most things, where like you should be proud of it, you can mentally be proud of it all you like, but you shouldn't mention it to other people. Like, there's a big movement for a lot of different things. Like, oh yeah, if you're under advantaged in whatever way, be proud of it, own it, tell it to everyone. And it's like, be proud of it. Like, let other people, know they shouldn't be fearful. But I think there are a lot of things where it's okay to. There's a lot of things where it's fine to keep it, not to keep it to yourself. That's, again, to not have everything be public. It can help you in a lot of situations. And that's the fault of the world, but that doesn't stop it being a real fault. Also, F. Did I die? Is everyone paying respects to me? I'm sorry. Soycat is an icon. He's a character who's popular and funny, but suddenly he's revealed as a philosopher and a universal intellectual. I really don't think myself as a intellectual, by the way. Like that. Other people are like, oh yeah, what a deep conversation now. I just think it's fun to talk about the more than surface. I know I like a conversation with a again, like we literally spoke about in the same place. Like, so how would a lion conversation go, and who would win in a fight? Like a tiger with a tiger or a man with a katana. Like it. I just like the interesting hypotheticals that make you think a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe I like thinking, and maybe that's because I'm not a robot. Maybe people who, most people. Again, there's a lot of YouTubers who fall into this category, right? Maybe it's calculated because the more you smile and laugh and don't talk, because when you talk about things, you encourage people to think. Whereas if you don't, if you just have positive vibes, then everyone feels good. Maybe that's what it is, because I know a couple of YouTubers at least who are just open about the fact that, like, yeah, there's the whole point of my videos is just to be, positive. Doesn't matter anything beyond after positive. Like, doesn't have to be engaging or useful. It just has to make people feel good, and that's fine. That's what comedy in a lot of ways does, right? Or even beyond comedy, like there's a lot of things that make good without. Oh god. So I just wanted to say I'm not a philosopher or an intellectual or whatever label or thing like that. It's just like, oh yeah, I enjoy this thing. Because if I do sit here and I'm like, oh yeah, did you know I'm not just a smart man, which I'm the smartest. Did you know? Many professional teachers, they come up to me and they say, hey Soycat, you're a very smart individual. But no, if I say that, it's like, oh, I mean, I don't believe it to be perfectly there. So let's grab some gunpowder. Let's grab whatever's in there. And I guess a name tag. Yeah, which getting so much like bonus free stuff here. Oh, and there's a chest here and there too. Look how great that is. We're gonna have so many name tags by the end of this. Like, should we just name all of our horses like rainbow things? Okay, so let me say something. I love your hair. Mine is so similar to yours. It's so laugh. Thank you, man. The hair again. So in the same way, when people like talk, there's a lot of people who are like, hey, I bet no one's ever told you this before, but I reckon your hair, you know, like that. I would like your hair to be different than how it is right now. That's the crux of the conversation. I don't like it just because it's a conversation I've had too many times before that isn't useful to me. Like, okay, thank you for your opinion, and oh my god, I just want to get out this couple. It's, you know, the end of the conversation is thank you for your opinion. I'm glad you got to express it. I hope that makes you feel better. So I could start a conversation saying like, hey, hair's off limits. Gonna block you for that. Because it's just, you know, it's better if we don't. It's better if we don't talk about Star Wars. When we get onto that subject, things go bad. So, yeah, basically that's a thing. Oh, we got a nice controversial one. So, because there's so many Fs, I'm going to answer the Kiaran question who says, do you think United Ireland is possible in the future? The thing a lot of people forget about United Ireland is that I believe it's set out in the most recent peace agreement between the UK and Ireland that basically just says, hey, we'll, Northern Ireland can be what it wants to be. It can join the rest if both sides want it, or it can stay if both sides want it. And yeah, so it comes down to whether people want it or not. Because here's the thing, if people don't want something, or at least the majority of people don't want something, then it doesn't matter. Like, the question goes away. It's like, do you think the USSR will reunite? And very few people are like in favor of it, so it's kind of a non-question, right? No one's like, when's it gonna happen? Is it gonna be then? So, in the same way, I would say, it's like, it's kind of cool that something's linked to just public opinion like that. Like, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about the political moves behind the scenes. You just have to think about like, oh yeah, do people want it? Oh, turns out, right now, no. In the future, who knows, like, maybe they'll find oil off the coast and that makes things better. I don't know. The cool thing about looking at the world is seeing how fast things change, or how much things can change, even if it's not fast. Because, yeah, things take a long time to happen in some cases. And it looks like we found the end of the mineshaft. Is that actually the case? Also, more cave spiders pushing more chests. I really should stop, like, while the cave spiders are near, I've got to, like, just learn not to do stuff there. So Cat uses oil instead of blood to run. I'm officially confirmed to be a robot. You caught me. You caught me. But, oh god. Oh, just get out of it. I just don't like you. I just don't want you here. That's my message to all of you. So Cat, you talk so much, what the hell? Oh yeah, that's the crazy thing, right? Like, again, there are two. I used to wonder, like, if I wasn't talking all the time, that'd be awful, right? Like, well, how do people normally talk? When you're in a solo format, you get all the conversation time. It's great. I can talk about lions, then I can talk about lion bars, which, by the way, pretty suboptimal chocolate bar. Like, if you're going for a chocolate bar, shouldn't be lion bar. But like, I think the one man, like, I like monologuing. Maybe it says like I like listening to my voice too much or something like that. But I mean, do other people really just sit there in silence for 15 seconds? I like that Toy Cat talks a lot. Thank you, Kit Kats. See, that's the reassurance that it makes me feel actually less concerned. I don't know, like it's weird because it is definitely not the standard, but I also don't understand how it's not. Like, surely it's better to be talking. I mean, even if I say just like, hey, I'm gonna take 10 seconds to come up with the next thing I want to say. So in those 10 seconds, I'm just gonna, I don't know, list my 5 favorite planets because, you know, Earth is number 1, Mars is number 2. Gonna go controversial pick with Uranus on number 3, just because it's got a solid name. We're obviously going to have to pick nice solid Jupiter to number 5. And then my controversial pick of the bunch. It's going to have to be, Venus. Because I reckon Venus is like, it's suspiciously similar to like the post-apocalypse versions of Earth. And I really want to imagine, okay, so big thank you for the $2 message retracted super chat. It was probably on screen a few seconds ago. So you got to see the message and I didn't. Was it that bad? Was it great? No, Pluto says Spencer. Here's the problem with Pluto. Even if you admit it's a planet or think it's a planet, it's a pretty garbage planet, right? Like, it's not interesting. It's right there at the edge of the solar. Like, it's not notable because there's a lot of non-planets that are like Pluto. Like, if you think Pluto's good, it's just a problem. It's just not an okay thought. It's like how, you know, technically speaking, I don't know, like, lions are, wait, bugs are technically animals. Oh, wait, spiders are technically an insect. Doesn't mean I have to like them. Actually, are spiders an insect? I know they're a, like, is a arachnoid a subsect of insects, or is it a separate category? But regardless, you get my point, I hope. And if you don't get my point, then make sure you like this video and let me know that my point makes no sense, and that you would like to see more informed points on this channel. We found an underwater cave. What a weird thing. That's probably why the mineshaft isn't here. It does make my life a little tricky, though. But yeah, Pluto, I believe, is not a planet right now. It lost its planetary status when I was in school. But there's always, like, calls to reinstate it or something like that. And again, I'm not particularly bothered either way. But again, if you consider it a planet, because I guess the truth is like anyone can consider anything anything. And even though a lot of people are wrong, some people aren't. Oh, the biggest planet in the solar system is my mum. Wait, I think I might have done that wrong. Good. See, I love bad joke delivery. Like it kills me. Like, you know, what's the most important part of comedy timing? It's like, haha, it's perfect. You nailed it. Like, I know a bad joke is almost harder to tell than a good joke, especially if you're in a good mood as you tell it. Like, I like bad jokes a lot. Bad jokes have a beauty to them. It's like how disgusting looking food is also an art form. Like, you know, food that just looks, oh man. Food that looks bad is something you want. There's a time in your life for food that looks amazing, like prepared by the French chef Pierre. Yeah, Pierre the Pear. His name is Pierre, and he also is a fruit. That must be a problem for him. But okay, this mineshaft is really starting to suck right now. But also, I don't know, I try not to read any of the messages that people would like deciding to spam. I did so with recent streams, and then people just kept doing it, like, oh, Toycat, your mic's muted, or Toycat this, and it's like, well, okay, new policy. Read every message before I read it out, and then go through that. The nasty patty from SpongeBob. You know, I'll take that as an example. It's weird, like, SpongeBob is such a bizarre show to watch back as an adult, because I watched it a bunch as a teenager, and it's a reminder that every single day you change and you don't know it. And then I really like watching old shows, or even old YouTube videos are pretty good for this too, and realizing how much your perspective has changed. Because maybe people don't grow. Maybe I'm crazy about this and everyone's gonna be like, hey, Toycat, you literally might have been re-inhabited by a ghost at some age. But I literally, I don't, what's the word, identify with? I don't agree with, like, there's a lot of things that 13-year-old me thought that were stupid. There's a lot of things 18-year-old me thought that were stupid. They get less as you go less far back. But that's like a cool experience. And seeing, as well as just like thinking dumb thoughts, also thinking in incorrect ways, right? Like, there was a time where I didn't... Also, by the way, big thank you. Ryan Walsh for the $5 super chat. Your live streams are always super zen. Thank you for curing my insomnia. Here's an extra $5 because I forgot to add a message the first time. Thank you very much, Ryan Walsh. Oh, so that's why I presume it was the $2 super chat. But yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm glad you find a zen-like state in the live streams. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm surprised at how many people have also enjoyed them. Like I always have a fun time hanging out, talking, about all this stuff, and I find it crazy that like people do as well. Again, this goes back to the point I was just making actually. Like a lot of thoughts that a lot of ways I used to think about the world were probably wrong and probably causing a lot of harm. And one of them, again, you can hate me for this, but I used to think everything was not a zero-sum game, but lots of things were zero-sum games. So if you were enjoying a conversation, the other person wasn't. If you liked someone, they liked you like... It's because, you know, there's this... The reason I got this is because there's this thing you see all the time, where one person, you know, one of the friends in a group, one of the whatevers, really, really likes the other one, and their feelings are not returned. It happens all the time where you see one friend, one whatever else, who is, you know, like, has all the affection for the other one, and it's not returned. And it's such an interesting... I think it's such an interesting thing because, to me, that signifies, like, oh, if one person likes the other too much, it ruins the like themselves. There's only so much like that can go on in a relationship, and therefore, you know, the less you like someone, the more they'll like you. But that doesn't, you know, that proves to be true sometimes. Like, if someone actively tries to make friends with you, sometimes pushing them away does make them like, again, really bad, don't ever do this, but sometimes pushing them away will make them like you more, at least show they like you more or something. And therefore I used to think like, oh yeah, therefore, you know, using the same logic, not only did people like each other, but also if you're having a good time, someone else isn't having a good time. And when you're having a bad time, that person must be having a good time. And again, there's a tiny, tiny part of truth in this, and that like, well, clearly, if two people have a conversation, there's a reason for that conversation to happen. If you're not enjoying it, then the other person probably is. And vice versa. If you're enjoying a conversation, the other person doesn't have to enjoy it. You're just making it happen. And yeah, I think that's a really dangerous mindset. I don't think it leads to good places, and I don't think it's correct either. Being friend-zoned is the worst, says Kit Kats. I'm gonna take that as a thing too, right? That kind of matches what I'm saying here. Yeah, when you're really eager for someone, that makes them less eager for you, and that's why the friend zone things happen, right? Like, if no one ever gets friend zoned by someone they don't really like. Wait, I do have a story. Never mind, I take back my thing. But like, so if you believe in the friend zone, I know a lot of people are on the train of like, there's no such thing as the friend zone because everyone should be friends with everyone all the time. But you know, if one person romantically wants a thing and another person does not, well, whatever term you use for that, and you know, it's bad for the person that is that wants the romantic thing, right? That's a fair statement. Question mark, exclamation mark. So like, oh god, that worked apparently. But yeah, because of that, it brings you to the same logic train of like, oh yeah, all you have to do is not like people. And again, every now and then, you will find success just deliberately not showing any affection or love or anything towards people you like. But if you're the sort of person who needs to show love and affection, you'll do it eventually anyway, and then you would push them away regardless. Again, bad advice with Toy Cat 101 right here. But the fact that I've changed my opinion on those things, like, there's a tiny layer of truth to the things I just said, but they can't be seen as, like, the end-all be-all. Because if you see them as that way, then things will go bad. Also, I think we've got about 6,000 blocks now. So there's the good news for you all. But, yeah, I think, actually, it's interesting. there's a lot of things that are definitely true, but that you shouldn't think. Like, this is... I think when you say that to people, they're gonna be like, what's the matter? You don't trust us with the magical knowledge? And... Why? You know, I hate this so much. Okay, just place that there. Now I can go through it, kill this tiny little spider. It's actually a big little spider. And let's get out of there. Boom, let's go. Whew. Oh no, I did it again. Oops, I did it. Oh, I hate my life so much. I like that when you show affection to other people, they actually like you more on average. I think maybe that depends on who you are. Maybe I'm just like a hunchback of Notre Dame type, where people are like, man, if this person likes me, then something's horribly wrong. No, yeah, it's definitely... actually, I can't leave without agreeing with that a little bit. Also, side note, thank you, Michael. No, wait, it's Miss7CH24. Mitch24, maybe? Milch. It's milk, like the German word for milk. 24. You drink milk 24 hours a day. Or 24 days a year. I mean, 24 days a year is a pretty low estimate. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm glad you like the videos. Milk24. But no, yeah, I should bring this up. Like, it is worth mentioning, there are a lot of people who, if you just like... Oh, wait, yeah, this is really good advice. Even though what I just said isn't true, if you don't like someone, that doesn't mean they guarantee to like you. If you don't like some people, some people don't like you based on that. Some people just pick a random reason and don't like you based on it. The best example I have of this is when I was first going to college, or it's called sixth form in the UK, or like the thing I was going to was called sixth form. But if you don't know what sixth form is, when I first went to college, one of the few friends I had from my school that went there, because it was like not the default choice, it was quite a little bit further away. One of the friends, I wasn't really good friends with him. He was a guy I knew. Like, I'd spoken to on Xbox a few times. I was like, well, guess you're the best I have. You know how that is, right? Like, when you're new somewhere and you're like, well, I guess we're just gonna go for the best. And I must have been the same for him. Like, man, really? Andrew? He's the best? There's not anyone else that I know here. No one? Okay. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, it's good to see you. You know, like, I'm sure that's how it was for him too. But anyway, the reason I bring up this guy is that he said to me, like, what am I even stuck in at this point? He said to me the moment we went in our first class, like, that guy with he was wearing a t-shirt without arms. What's that even called? A t-shirt, a T-less shirt? A shirtless, armless shirt? It's got a name, a wife beater, whatever, you know, like, that thing, the thing you use when you beat your wife, or wear when, a vest. But it's got a term, right? Like a tank top, a vest. It's a something-less shirt, an armless shirt. It's got a name. It's got its own unique name. Don't try and lie to me, chat. Shirtless man. A muscle shirt. There's a name. It's got a like. There's a thing. There's a way you describe an armless shirt with like a lush. Okay, we're gonna a sleeveless. There we go. Cat's H. One person coming in and saving the day. Okay, we got a few more people now. Sleeveless shirt. He had a sleeveless shirt. Anyway, the guy was just like, oh, that. He was really angry at just the shirt. Like, and again, there's a funny thing in like humans. We're like, oh, you think the sleeveless shirt makes him a monster? Yeah, sure, why not? I hate this guy too. I'll show my solidarity. I bet that he, you make up stuff like that. And then literally lunchtime that same day, because we went to different classes, I meet him again. He's like, oh yeah, remember, his name is Morgan. I'll just tell you that much. Remember Morgan? Well, got some bad news. We're actually best friends now. Turns out, I think it was like, he smokes weed too, and because, he's one of those stoner friends that, like, for people like that, like, oh yeah, we have the same thing we like to do, sometimes in our spare time, that is also illegal. It's like, oh man, I love illegal drugs too. But yeah, no, that was their, like, connection point. But yeah, turns out, the guy's actually really nice. He looks like he's a douche, a dick, a monster, a bad person. But every time I speak to him, I have a really good conversation. He's like a friendly man, friendly to everyone he speaks to. Maybe, like, everyone gets this vibe from him, and that's why he has to be friendly. Like, imagine if everyone who sees you just thinks that you're not a fun person to talk to. Like, imagine how much harder your life gets. In the same way, like, everyone who looks at me probably has some assumptions about me that have changed my perception of people. But yeah, so, because of that, the story's interesting because it proves that people just randomly pick to hate people, and also, I don't know, like, your perception can be wrong, and by liking someone, it shows something good. Also, yeah, I've made a lot of friends where just, like, I didn't like the person, they didn't like me just off the start, like, oh, man, this guy, I think, yeah, I think the person, like, so, again, I think it might be the same guy, it might be a different guy, but, like, my own interaction with him was like, oh yeah, this is sleeveless shirt, man. You can keep calling it a tank top or a muscle shirt, all you like, chat. But, like, he was wearing one of those. That's my only interaction with him. So then when we speak for the first time, it's like, oh man, this guy doesn't like me. The only thing he'd done is he made fun of a shirt I had. Because again, I like to be a bit. I've said this before, but I think t-shirts are a good way to either make friends or break friends or whatever. I had a shirt that was like something like, I don't know, bondage instructor, let me show you the ropes. There you go. Ha ha ha, high quality. Glad you liked the joke. But it was, you know, it was a funny but dodgy t-shirt. And so his only interaction with me was like, ha ha ha, I get it. Like, laughing a bit over the top, like, not trusting. Because something I realized recently is I don't trust anyone who laughs unless it's like directly to a joke or like a thing I said or like a thing that I'm doing to be funny. Like when people laugh at something that you're not doing to be funny, that's like the most unsettling feeling in the world, at least to me. Chat, tell me if that's correct. Because like for instance, when I hear people laugh across the road, I know it's not about me, but I look and I'm like, oh my god. Again, I don't know if that is just me. Like, have some horrifying experience, clearly, that's holding me back. But yeah, sorry, going back to my point. So the very first interaction you have, you just gotta go, like, over the top nice. Like, hey, nice to meet you, man. Like, try hard. Act like you're friends already. And they gotta be like, oh, what a nice guy. So many people hate each other because they both just had that thought about each other and stuck with it. Like, if you're mean to someone that you don't like internally, they're gonna not like you because they're like, oh yeah, I don't really like Jessica. She's a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Don't really like Jessica. But like, you know, and then that kind of duplicates and repeats, etc. Stop being insecure. It's okay to laugh when you're using illegal drugs. That's, you know, that is separately true. That's not the point I was making here though. Valley Girl, yes. Can I do a good Valley Girl voice yet? Also, yeah, we've gotten stuck in this mineshaft for quite some time. It seems as though we'll just go a lot back and then we'll turn next right. Because it's really easy with mineshafts that aren't many infinite to just go too far left, too far right. But yeah, here we are fine. It's like real life. On the political scale, look how funny I am. I make very poignant jokes. Everyone's just talking and half you don't understand, don't know who they are. So yeah, it turns out it is just me. It is just me being like this. Also, VMB Snipe says, when's the next Reddit meme review? Oh, I found a gold mine. I found a secret Minecraft meme subreddit. I was going to call the video the Minecraft memes that you're not meant to see, but I thought that might be a bit over the top. But there is going to be another Minecraft meme video very soon. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it. I mean, I only have thoughts because I am but a human man. You know, we're just gonna keep going this way. Oh look, yeah, there's a bunch of mine shafts. They're just separated by one block, so you have to mine through them. So we're gonna go this way a bunch and see if this ends up anywhere. And if it does, we're good. Because it's impossible to tell if we've gone too far left or too far right. Like while we're going diagonally, it's just tricky to follow. But see, look at this. Same thing. Not sure where we're going, but it's fine. Oh, did I pick up my shulker box a while ago? I did. Okay, thank God. So, also, hello, fellow human male, says Mayonnaise. Yes, hello, fellow humans. I hope you are all good. Toycat, you are a Minecraft meme. That hurts my feelings, J Davis, bro. Don't you know that Minecraft meme is an insult? It's actually a slur to Minecraft YouTubers. It's not true, Toycat have the same type of anxieties. Let me clarify. It's an entirely bad one to have. I've tried to like deprogram it for myself so many times. Like, no, it's not a thing. But I honestly am just like, oh, okay. let me reconsider everything about my life. Because it's interesting. Like, there are so many things that everyone's so self-conscious about. Like, if I asked you right now, oh yeah, wear a piece of clothing you don't find, like, you find is unflattering. you'd be like, oh my god, no. Imagine what people will think if I wear it. So I don't know if you can tell this looking at me. I'm not a tank top guy. I don't think I've ever worn a tank top. Let me think about this one. I've never genuinely worn a tank top for any reason besides... I don't think I think I've worn tank tops, a sleeveless t-shirt or whatever, inside the house because I got it for Christmas or something. And technically you have to wear clean clothes at least once. Otherwise that's just a bad gift. I think I might, but like, I'm not a tank top guy. Like, I'd be like, oh man, imagine wearing a tank top. But no one cares. No one even notices, right? There's not a single moment of attention paid to that sort of stuff. And I realized this most seriously when, if you follow me on Twitter and have for a while, I tweeted out about 6 months ago now. I had a serious contact lens issue. Like I had a contact lens cut my eye basically. It's about as painful as it sounds. Like I like one of my eyes was just like bad, and then the procedure to basically get it out there, because I'd scratched my cornea. Oh yeah, scratched cornea. That phrase hurts me to hear. So you're welcome, chat. Scratched cornea, a cornea that has been scratched. So my cornea had been scratched, and like because of that, they put some orange liquid down my face that I couldn't remove. Like it didn't wash off easy. So I had a huge like orange stain. It looked like I had a weird tattoo. And yeah, the long story I'm trying to go for here is like 4 or 5 people looked at me funny, but most people did not look at me at all. They're just like, oh yeah, there's the man with the orange face. Or maybe they didn't even know it's a man with an orange face. They're just like, here's a man, here's a man. How many people can you remember from your walk home today? Or your drive home, or your London Underground ride home, or your train ride, or your bus ride? Probably like maybe one, a few if you really think about it. How many do you remember from the 11th of October 2018? None. You can't even begin to imagine that unless it's the same people every day. But that's kind of cheating, right? So yeah, my point there is just like, no one cares, but you think they care so much. Bold of you to assume I even left the house, says Grave Kennedy. You're not. That was pretty foolish of me. We are on the internet right now playing Minecraft. As we all know, people who play Minecraft are not legally allowed to leave the house. But no, well, there goes that creeper. But also, I think I've got to turn all of this gunpowder into stuff. Oh, I have far too much gunpowder to turn into fireworks. I think I can make. Yeah, no, this is a nightmare situation. So let's just keep going, I guess. Find some more iron. I'm gonna max out my stacks eventually, and then when we do that, we can call it a day. Although actually, I think we wanted to go 10,000 blocks. So what is that? Like 9,000 and negative 5,700. So let's get some serious running going, so we can kind of chill near the end. Because I'm running out of like space to store this stuff, let alone everything else. Oh god. Okay. Have you tried to beat Minecraft No Food? Says Empty Program. I have. I want to do it again sometime, but it requires so much like focus and concentration. I don't want to do it every week, and like I don't want to like have it be a milk thing. I want to, every time I attempt that challenge, I want to be able to do it. I think next time we will. It just requires a lot of effort. So, oh, we have found something very strange. Look at this minecart chest. What is that? What is that at all? Okay, well that's strange. Let's move past that. Place more of these torches, which we have an infinite supply of. Yeah, the really cool thing about exploring mineshafts, especially like really big ones, is they give you all the torches you need. You don't even think about it, but apparently they totally just do that for you. So run past this chest. Oh yeah, we want to just get on a roll here. Like check every chest, grab the iron, because it's free iron. No one's turning down free iron. And then move on to the next one. So yeah, the old textures are back. They're free. It's true. Yeah, a lot of people just think that they were like gone forever. They were always intended to come back. It's just Bedrock has a lot of like user-facing issues that sometimes seem like they're malicious and sometimes seem incompetent. And I don't know which of the two it was in this case to do with the new textures. But yeah, I like the new textures now. I honestly can't spot the differences for most items. Like, is this the new stone or the old stone? I know it's the new stone because I'm obviously playing the new textures. But yeah, it's super interesting that like now they're just the textures to me, you know? There's no new textures, old textures here. There's just the textures that I play with. So we'll throw away the rotten stone, the rotten flesh, sorry, because it's just not very useful. I guess we should pick up the stone, like better than a single bit of andesite. And let's keep going. New textures are epic, says J Davis Bro. Dab, 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 dab. You know, I don't know what I feel about that. Oh, I just wasted some fireworks. Yeah, I'm probably really killing my Elytra with all of this. Oh no, it's fully repaired. Jesus Christ. We've fully repaired our Elytra just with today's thing. Like, it was on red, I think, at the start of the stream. And just by killing a few creepers and mining a few things. Oh, mining spawners is probably really good for your equipment. I'd be willing to bet that's a fact. Yeah, let's go mine a few spawners. Like, I'll mine the spawner, then switch out to the... oh, there's a creeper next to that. Never mind, let's sideswipe that one. Get some iron. Sideswipe that. Get over here. Grab the name tag. Chat, do you have any good ideas what I should do with all these name tags? Because I am, like... I like survival ideas as much as the next person, but I have no idea what to do with so many different name tags. So, if you have some great thoughts, let me know. And then I'll put them with all the other ones. About escape a violent home, and my people traveled 10,000 blocks from spawn. What am I even seeing? Oh, it's wood. Maybe we should not be here. Go a block this way. Mine this. Get some iron ore. Let's go. Yeah, let's try and get some sprinting going. Because if you sprint 2,000 blocks, it takes no time. It's just... there's just so many blocks I want to pick up. Like, look at all these diamonds. Look at all these everything. It's great. Name horses after members, says Kit Kats. Hey, there's a fun idea. I like that one. Have like a big horse farm. And then I can... wait, and then we can put the horses down if the person unmembers. That's like psychological guilt. And in exchange for money right there. That's a golden idea, Kit Kats. I mean, you probably don't like the second part of that idea. I think that's a golden one, though. So someone says you made geographical block. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of you... okay, so I guess I should ask, because it's an idea I've had. But because the server I showed off in the whole world video broke, basically, I was thinking of just showing off, like, another major server, because there's, like, it's a whole genre, apparently. So that's probably what I might do tomorrow, maybe, question mark. I also, just because, I mean, like, I don't like being that person who talks about video ideas all day, but since this is a live stream, I'm talking about video ideas. It's kind of like when you talk to your work friends about your family life issues. No, that's not the case. It's like when you talk to your family about your work issues. They don't care, and therefore it's fine. By the way, big thank you, Punit Pajara, for the 99-cent super chat. Wait, that's probably a Punit Pujara. Nope, it's not. Whenever I see a name that's like slightly bizarre, I'm like, see, they gave me 99 cents, and that's probably for a joke. I just have to work out what the joke is. Turns out, my trust was wrongly misplaced. I apologize sincerely, Punjit Pajara. But yeah, to go back to my previous thing. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to work on, because I still have this this magic 8 cube, and it was so bad, like it didn't even show up well on that video, and I was like, well, we have to use this somehow. And I want to do like a Minecraft playthrough, where the 8 ball decides every decision. Because, you know, everyone needs a bit of RNG in their life. I mean, everyone loves RNG. But you know what the best RNG is? A magic 8 ball. Updated colored name tags video. Oh, that could be fun, like doing one in legit survival. One of the things when I do like tutorials these days, I like to do them in survival. There's something like nice about that. So I've got like an inventory video I want to make, but like pure survival. There's just something nice about seeing someone's done something in survival. Like so many videos are just, oh yeah, this is creative. I literally just used the creative inventory, opened it, played around with it for 3 seconds, now I'm showing it off. And I think that is, it's something I've done once or twice for an update video I didn't quite understand. And I think it's a problem that can be fixed. When you're in survival, you had to obtain it naturally. You've probably used it naturally. You've had plenty of time because it takes way longer. I don't know where that point even came from. Should we talk about how the universe is going to end? That's a great topic idea. No, it is interesting. I didn't realize, like, because earlier it came up a fair few times, that some people are like, oh yeah, this is basically philosophy and chill. Because it never really was meant to be that way. It kind of is just like, oh yeah, these are just the thoughts on the top of my head. Like, to me, a live stream is like, hey, I'm saying some words. You know, this is almost like, what, stream of consciousness, I think is the term for it. Like, here are the things I'm thinking at the time I'm thinking them. Have a glance inside the mind of Toy Cat. Because that's what conversations sometimes are. Like, I think maybe not the best conversations, but some interesting conversations. It's just like, hey, here's exactly what's on my mind. Because most random observations on your mind aren't worth saying. But every now and then, there's a really good one. Like, hey, you ever think about how cars are just people, but big? And it's like, whoa. Yeah, that was a bad example. I was just trying to, like, literally on the spot. You ever notice how, I don't know, coal is like diamonds? Or, like, isn't it wild how, like, plastic dinosaurs are made from plastic, which is made from oil, which is made from dinosaurs? Therefore, pretend dinosaurs are made from real dinosaurs. Whoa. And it's like, oh, have I told this story before? I have an ex-girlfriend who insists to every single person she meets that she invented that idea, that meme, that concept of plastic dinosaurs made by real dinosaurs. And do you ever have something that, like, makes you uncomfortable, but only, like, retroactively thinking back? You can never, like, pin down exactly why. Like, is it a problem if someone thinks they invented something that they probably didn't? And I really don't know. Also, by the way, thank you, Mama Cube and Maddie Cube. Appreciate the $1 super chat. Also, chickens are dinosaurs. Or are dinosaurs chickens? You ever think about that? You ever think about that? You missed the chest. Yeah, I'm actually trying to just go the blocks now. Like, we could always come back and get the ones we missed or whatever. There's going to be some valuable stuff in there. But I'm mostly just here checking out the stronghold. Okay. Sorry, the mineshaft. Yeah, can you see these patterns? They're recurring, like, over and over again. I think it's not just that there's mineshafts generating. It's the same one. Like, I'm remembering... Like, chat, are we... I'm getting deja vu now. Are you? Like, are you feeling this with me? Like, we're doing very similar things over and over again. So we run over here. And then we run a little bit down. Then we jump up. And then we go this way a bit more. And then we go right. Like, I don't know on what scale it's repeating, but I definitely feel like we're going here over and over again. Maybe it's the ore that makes it feel different. Because it does feel different each time. Or maybe it's just because there's only so many, like, bits of mineshaft generation. Or is it literally the same mineshaft duplicated? I don't even know anymore. I've stopped. Oh, look, here we are again. Here we are. Same bit. Then we run. We go to the second one on the left. See, if you want to get through mineshafts quickly, all you have to do is work out the best pattern through. And then know how to repeat it. Every now and then it's different because a cave comes through the way. Some ores get in the way. There's a chest or something. But the basic concept is the same. Okay, and we've lost the same thing. I literally was just like, oh yeah, we worked it out. And then I failed to work it out. Oh gosh. That was scary. And then we're back here with the block above our head we have to mine. Because it's the same. It just keeps on going. So Cat will destroy the Mandela effect, says Spencer. The thing is, the Mandela effect, like, everyone in their head knows it's stupid when they say it, right? Like, no one actually thinks that the simplest answer to something is that the alternate universes collided, and somehow the one thing that stayed was that Nelson Mandela died in prison and then came back to life. Like, we know that memory is unreliable. Like, there's a reason... If you've... I've heard this is a thing they do in law classrooms. Or maybe not law, it's like policing. But there's a lot of... people think that witness testimony is a really great thing. It's like one of the worst sources of evidence. Because your brain recreates memories on the spot. It doesn't, like, have a... You know, your brain isn't a CCTV camera. Which means that when you're trying to make... You think you know... You think you have memories, but you don't have all the details. So your brain fills in the details. But when those details are used to incriminate someone, it's a pretty bad idea. Because, again, it's just filling in the blanks. Like, it assumes it knows, so it puts some information there. And it doesn't tell you that it does that. It puts it there. Because it'd be weird not to. And yeah, the Mandela effect is... because, you know, like, that's a thing that happens. So, when you think back to the past, you're like, oh yeah, Nelson Mandela, like, probably died in prison, right? Like, I didn't hear about him for a long time. Everyone dies in prison eventually. That's what happens in prison. And yeah, there's a reason it happens to so few people, because most people have accurate memories, and the people who don't have accurate memories think their ones are correct. It's kind of like, I have arguments about this all the time, like, oh yeah, do you remember Jurassic Park came out in 2012? And someone's like, no, it came out in 20... I don't know what year that film is, but... Oh yeah, Call of Duty 4, that came out in 2007. Someone's like, no, it's 2008. I'm like, no, 2007. I'm 100% sure it's 2008. We'll look it up, it's 2007. Huh, I was wrong, I guess. Or, but now, instead of saying, huh, I was wrong, you can say, Mandela effect. I'm actually from an alternate universe where I'm correct and you're wrong. Woo, I got you there. Got you there. And like, if you're gonna operate under that logic, you can win any argument that way. Like, oh yeah, so who's the greatest I don't know, musician of all time? And you go like, I don't know, Michael Jackson. Let's bring it back to bring it full circle, and then the person goes, actually, no. I'm from a universe where he's not the best singer of all time, or best pop artist or whatever. And it's like, well, yes, you got me there. Can't refute that you're from a different universe. Like, how do I find the proof to refute that you're not from the same universe as me? Like, that's not easy proof to find. That's very much a rare and valuable piece of information that I don't have access to. And yeah, I find it interesting and amusing, at least. So yeah, now I've spoken the mineshaft loops, it's starting to get a little bit more harrowing. Not harrowing. There's a word for what I'm looking for. It's starting to get a bit more mundane. It's like, oh, I've been here before. I've seen these things. Also, it seems as though I'm mining less blocks now. But yeah, like, do you see how I'm using this exact same pattern to get to the exact same place? It's, like, concerning. Do you have a PC? See, here's the crazy thing. Okay, can Toy Cat side rant here? Toy Cat side rant. It's wild to me that, like, PCs are, like, not the default form of communication anymore. Like, if someone was on the internet, it used to be that, yeah, they had a PC. And then it started being, oh yeah, but some people on their mobile devices? Huh, how weird. What a quirky little thing they're doing. And now it's like, oh yeah, if someone's on the internet, probably on a mobile device. How weird would it be if they still had a PC? But yeah, I'm a big believer. I can't get most stuff done unless I'm on a PC. Like, if I want to type out a bunch of words, I'm not typing that on a virtual keyboard. I'm not doing that to myself. That should be considered, like, you know, like torture under the UN Convention of one of the Geneva Conventions. Like, that it's horrendous to me. But yeah, it's so many people's just like, oh yeah, this is what typing is. So yeah, I have a PC, a pretty high-end PC, because obviously I use it to edit and to make the videos. So because I have to record and game. I have serious issues with my PC. It crashes randomly. If this stream just stops midway through a sentence, probably because it crashed. Like I've every PC and even I had a MacBook, same issue. Every computer I have has issues. Every mobile device I have gets slower 6 months after I get it. You know, conspiracy time with Toycat. Planned obsolescence, even if it's not real, it's definitely real, right? Can we all, like, get hold of that? Like, when you buy a new device, it's amazing. 6 months later, it always isn't. And I don't even think it's, like, a huge conspiracy. I just think it's lots of individual factors playing together. But it's a bummer to me that, like, oh yeah, I bought a thing that was really great when I got it, and now time has passed, and now it's not. Because what's the solution to that? Like, buy a new phone every 6 months? Buy a new... I don't even know. What type of PC do you have? I've got a 5960X and a 980 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM. I've got an Asus workstation motherboard. I bought a workstation grade motherboard thinking this is a PC I use sometimes, you know, when I'm preparing for a trip. I'm sometimes working like 15 hours a day, making some form of video or editing or researching or whatever else. Like, I would like a PC that's always working. And then somehow, in the cursed world that I exist in, once every 48 hours, without fail, if I leave the PC on for a weekend, 100% of the time it's crashed by the time I get back. Doing nothing. And it gives me a generic error that can't be researched any further. It's like, this is a RAM issue. Do a RAM check, nothing wrong with the RAM. Underclock the RAM, overclock the RAM. Like, something about me makes computers not work. And I'm just saying, we're adding credence to the theory that Toy Cat's a robot, right? Like, turns out, despite using the exact same parts, the exact same builds many other have, you know, it's perfectly configured, something about every PC I've ever owned or used just crashes. Like, I honestly think, like, I must have, like, an electric part of my brain. Or something like that. Like, there's got to be something strange about me. Like, I ate a battery when I was young, I think. I ate a coin when I was young, too. And a marble. No, not a battery. It was a coin and a marble. You know, maybe I ate a battery when I was young, and now there's a battery inside me. Do you die, actually? I'm not even sure. So, yeah, basically... Also, we're almost there now, I think. We're only a few more... I'm not even sure at this point. I've lost all track of space and time. But we're doing pretty well, I imagine. Probably. What challenge do you think opens with 1.14? There's a lot of fun challenges 1.14. I think deconstruction of a village is a fun one you should try. That's one of the first things I want to do with 1.11. Deconstruct a new Minecraft village. Oh, I can do that in the current update. Maybe I'll do it in the current update and then pretend it's a thing for after. Power source issue? You probably pass battery through the natural way. I reckon your stomach acid can probably dissolve it, and then the battery acid dissolves your stomach in a cruel twist of fate. Have you checked your temperatures for editing? Says Corey Flynn. See, here's the thing. If it was only crashing during high intensive workloads, I could work around that, right? It crashes sometimes doing nothing. I load up the PC, I sit there on the desktop, maybe open Chrome, and then go downstairs, eat some food. 6 hours later, I'm back. Oh, it's crashed. With Macs, I admittedly had to work a little bit harder. Like, I'd be using up all the RAM on like that one, for instance. But like, there's always.
Why did you pick your name IBX? What does IBX refer to?
Thank you very much, Victory Shout NZ. Wait, his name is Victory Shout, so therefore logically, this is the way he wants his comment read. Why did you pick name IBX? What does IBX refer to? Actually, wait, he's New Zealandish. New Zealandian? He's from New Zealand. So like, you got to vowel shift a little bit. So it's like, wait, let's do this. I can do this. Why did dead ye pok ya name nomi EBX? Wit does EBX we're getting close to that. Pro tip for accents, just have all the vowels wrong. But yeah, IBX refers to Imperial Battalion 10. The 10th Imperial Battalion. No, it was a really short-lived clan. It literally so short-lived, I never did anything, like, there was never really a clan. And then, when I tried to sign up for YouTube, Toy Cat was taken by some weird Korean cat. And therefore, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll be IBX Toy Cat, like my RuneScape username. And now it's like stuck with me all these years later. New Zealand equals Kiwis. New Zealand people are in fact called a fruit. I still don't know to this day why that is. It's just like it's one of those great mysteries of the world, right? Like, oh yeah, New Zealanders are fruit. And also the sky is blue. So yeah, that's why I'm cool. That's why IBX it's Imperial Battalion 10. It was a clan tag, like brackets IBX and then Toy Cat. And then it became part of my real name, and now it's just stuck that way. Because even though Toy Cat is my branding, like, I would say IBX Toy Cat is the YouTube channel, and Toy Cat is the person, right? But then my Twitter's IBX Toy Cat, so it all goes to hell anyway. Basically, I hate my life, and I made a mistake. That's what I'm basically saying here. Okay, let's throw away 7 arrows. Actually, wait, 1 gravel. No one wants 1 gravel. In exchange for more iron ore. We're gonna have so much iron to smelt when we get back. Like, we can make a lot of stuff with all this iron. But yeah, we're doing pretty well with this little exploration. We're about to reach 8,000 blocks. And then it's only 2,000 and we're on the home straight. Well, we're on the home straight at 2,000, I should say. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. See, it's really hard to explore this many blocks of Mineshaft just because of how up and down all over the place it can be. Like, where is this going to lead? See, you can see this shouldn't connect up to there, but it does because of the ravine. It's very bizarre. Nobody wants any gravel, says Kelly Drummond. Right, no one wants any gravel ever. It's one of those mystery blocks. It exists solely for the sake of everything else being better by comparison. And you know, they do their job in that way. They do their job. So, Cat, when do you think? Okay, second half of PS4 1.14 release. Probably like a month after everyone else. I thought it'd be the same timeline, and then the update that did come out was a little less. Yeah, truth be told, probably sometime. It's not the answer you want, but it's the answer you get. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Also, before Toycat falls and dies, literally just as I was running across the ravine. It was quite an unwise decision, but I survived it. I have no Elytra, so it's really tricky for me to die. I just have to not undo it. Play Minecraft parodies as you do this, says Axel92. I'm actually working on a new Minecraft parody right now. I wrote all the lyrics myself. Zero help from any outside sources that I can think of on the spot right now. Ha 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 ha. But no, you know, I'm working on one right now, sort of, question mark. At least a couple. I had one planned for the 1.14, like, it was gonna be, Take Me Home, Country Roads, but, Minecraft Village. Take Me Home, Minecraft Village, like, it was just gonna be a love song about Minecraft villages. But I don't think most people care about the new villages as much as I do, so that won't be a thing. But take me home, Minecraft roads. Yeah, it was gonna work. It was gonna be great. I just lost the lyrics, so there goes that really clever idea. And yeah, there's also you know, you gotta make a song about a cave update, so that's a thing that's probably gonna be a thing, I imagine. Make a high budget music video about the cave update. Yeah, that's the cool thing about YouTube. You can just pay someone a lot of money and they'll make a high production quality video. So I'll do like a diss track on whatever 1.15 is actually going to be about. Do a diss track on Minecraft caves, you know. There's a great idea. Future idea right there. Oh god, what have we jumped into? What is this mess? Villages are more interesting 1.14. They are better. It's just I don't think people care about them being better. That's my take on things. Also, okay, we gotta go up if we want to get anywhere, it seems. Pro tip, the direction of travel is up. So, cave update, ain't got no hate. Hey, nice. Okay, so we're now 80% done. We're on that final 20% home stretch. We have pretty much no space to store things besides, like, iron ingots we might find. But we're still going strong. You better believe. Okay, let's just keep going this way. Let's just see if we keep ending up in Mineshafts, even at absurd distances. No, this is the end on this way, so it's definitely we've gone too far left. So we need to go further right, I think. That is my conclusion from this information. Hey there, spider, please don't hurt me. Run this way, that doesn't work. Jump across this gap. There we go, that's what it was. So now we just dig through this wall. You can see there's a mine shaft on the other side. Boom, just like that. So yeah, if you want to do the same thing, just as some tips that I've learned after about an hour and 47 minutes. One is definitely work out a path and try and stick to it. Like that seems to work quite well. Two is to always watch your height. Sometimes you go too high or too low. Like, know where your average height is and then work from there. Again, I don't know how many of you are actually going to do this. Like, it's so funny, like, there's so many of these weird survival projects where I'm like, you know, this one is just me, and then so many people do it. And then there's ones where it's like, oh yeah, this would be fun for anyone. And no one has the patience to just, like, run through a mine shaft for 10,000 blocks. But yeah, here we are regardless. Toycat, you should destroy the whole thing and rebuild it on the surface. Now there's a really solid idea. Definitely nothing wrong with that idea whatsoever. I like the new village buildings, but the villages are nearly the same as before. Adds nothing to the game unless you focus entirely on leveling up the villages. Yeah, I think the leveling up mechanic is more fun and interesting. I don't think they're, like, wholly changed, though. But maybe that's better. Maybe after the combat update, they've realized that, like, people just like it when you tweak things more than entirely change them. Like, it's objectively better than it was before, but the cost of that is it's not much more interesting than it was before. Also, I am just entirely trapped here. Let's just mine through this wall. See where that gets us. Hopefully to another part of that. There we go. Oh no, we're underwater now. Looks like we're in a giant ocean. So, we're gonna dig down. Yeah, we've definitely gone 5,000 blocks on the Z. It's just how many blocks we've gone on the X that is the question now. Oh god, there's a huge mine shaft here, but it's filled with these little guys that I really don't like. How was lunch, says Nick Erdman. See, that's the sort of question that gets me concerned. Like, what do you know about my lunch? you taking hostages? Like, what's the scoop on that? But yeah, for lunch today, if you want to know, I had the lunch of champions. I had some like spaghetti hoops and sausages. Like, I have in my cupboard a bunch of cans. I don't know why I have so many cans in my cupboard, but I have so many cans in my cupboard. And today I was like, you know, I don't eat any of these cans, and they go off after like a year or two, right? I'm just gonna eat some canned food. Let's suffer for a little bit, and then tomorrow I'm probably gonna like order a pizza and just have a lazy day. Well, not tomorrow, like Saturday maybe. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun, great thing. Okay, so mining diagonally is not getting me further through this stronghold, through this mine shaft. Yeah, I guess the spawn of this mine shaft was cut off. I guess this is the end. Like, because of the water caves. Unless I just have to dig down or up. Let's confirm on that one. But it seems as though I think we've reached the end of this mine shaft. I'm going to check on my little calculator here. So minus 4,500, 11,786. Okay. Oh no, it keeps on going on. But it seems like it's cut off by the surface, because there's no more hint of a mine shaft in either of these directions. And that's strange. So chat, I got some good news and I got some bad news. We did roughly, so to do the maths, about 4,000 blocks on the X and about 5,000 blocks on the Y. We did just over 9,000, I think. It's over 9,000, ha 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 ha. And yeah, we had a good time talking about it too. We settled the debate over lion with a gun, human with a knife. And also, whether you'd like to speak to a lion. You definitely wouldn't, by the way. So now all we have to do is get out of here. I'm going to find a nice part of this mine shaft, like a much nicer bit than this. And then we're going to... Oh god, I hate using the sword to mine cobwebs. But let's find a nice part of the mine shaft, like a part that I'd actually like to teleport back to. Oh wait, down here maybe? No, that's not it. I think this is all just dead end. Which is sad, but it's the way things look. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a nice place in here. Again, that's actually like on all sides. And then from there, we're going to make ourselves a little nether portal. So over here maybe? Oh gosh. Hey there, friend. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing good too. Thank you for asking. If a lion could speak, we wouldn't understand him. That's what you're looking for. Is that the exact quote, Mayonnaise? Thank you very much. See, this is why you should always trust your condiments. You might think, oh no, I can't trust mayonnaise. It's an instrument. Ha 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 ha. Fun SpongeBob jokes, ahoy. But, no, you can trust mayonnaise. Actually, probably. Maybe you can't trust mayonnaise. Maybe mayonnaise is lying to us all. But assuming that mayonnaise is not a lie, then you can trust it. And that's good. Also, now the gravel's gonna fall, so that was a bad idea. But yeah, just like this, we've now made a nether portal. I like making ridiculous sized nether portals every now and then. I hope you don't disagree with that. And let's see how far that is in nether terms, because I'm just kind of curious, like, where does this get me in the nether? Let's find out. Right about. If it takes me to the same portal again, I'm gonna be not happy. Minus 578, 1491. So we need to get the minus coordinate down to 11. Or we have to just go diagonally, basically. So that's a thing that I guess we need to do in the nearest future to connect back to the mine shaft. Oh, we also have another nether fortress. So more wither skeleton spawns. More all the good stuff that we need. Because I need to kill the wither again to get another beacon. There's a lot of mini projects that I should be doing, might be doing, will be doing in the future. But for now, unrelated to any of those, let me just say thank you very much for watching this little live stream on this little internet. If you all enjoyed it, you can like the video and let me know. You can share it if you really liked it. And you know what? You don't need to share this live stream. If you share this live stream with someone, they're going to think you're a serial killer. Like, you watched a man who says he's a cat but isn't a cat speak about lions for 40 minutes while he just ran through a repeating mineshaft. Isn't that the definition of madness? And the answer is yes, it pretty much is. But yeah, I hope you had a good time. I did. And I look forward to seeing you in whatever the next live stream is. I was going to say it's on Saturday, but I think I just told you about my plans to eat eat some pizza and be lazy on Saturday. So maybe a Friday live stream. Who knows for sure? All I know is that, I don't know, you can give me some money by hitting the join button down there. I'd appreciate it. Goodbye. This is how I wave goodbye. You show your weakness by letting your guard down and waving like a man who does not understand what waving is. A man who's never seen waving, he's just heard about the concept. Like, this is how you do it, right? But no, I'm going to be setting up this green screen. And from this video on, things will be better. It's gonna be great. Thank you for watching. Real goodbye now.